big-time movie star. Career is going great, huh?
Things are good. I can't complain. I've been really, really lucky.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Not lucky. You work hard.
Yeah, but it's a thing.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Now, I want to ask you, because I know you're first generation, right?
Yeah.
And my mom was born in Scotland. Were your parents supportive? Did they sort of understand? Because I imagine, did they want you to go, like, into the academic field?
Yeah, they were sort of about, education and maybe becoming a doctor or a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah.
They weren't, that thrilled when I told them I was going to become an actress. But, I moved out to LA and I sort of was making my way.
Right.
And I got calls from my mom and I talked to my dad occasionally about stuff, but not really about the business. And then it was really funny because one day he called me and he was really asking me about auditions and how is everything going and really being specific. And I thought, wow, something's really changed in his behavior. And it sort of went on for a long time. And then suddenly I found out from my brother that he had read this article about this girl and had become very depressed. She was an actress.
Yeah.
And she jumped off the Hollywood sign. And so he got freaked out and decided that he was going to be very supportive.
Oh, I see.
So that's what happened, yeah.
And parents always think it happens like the next day. Like if you move to LA on Monday, Tuesday they call, hey, did you
Yeah, hey, what's going on?
What's happening? It's a little
Yeah, no, actually it's kind of good because they didn't ask a lot of questions, so they didn't really, it wasn't like every single day, no, I didn't get anything yet, so it wasn't that bad.
Did you ever have any non-acting jobs? And were you lucky right from the get-go?
No, my God, I did everything. I worked in retail, I worked as a cocktail waitress, I worked...
A cocktail waitress?
Yeah.
I don't see you taking guff from customers.
I was a horrible cocktail waitress. I was so bad. I worked at a comedy club in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
At a comedy club?
Yeah, and it was so much fun. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was when I was going to school, and at the time they had like Rosie O'Donnell come in. She was headlining, and they had Tim Allen, and people. It was great. I learned a lot.
Now, did comics hit on you all the time? That's sort of the comics always hit on. They always have signs at comedy clubs. Do not even attempt to hit on the waitress. They will not go out with you, but it doesn't stop.
No, they didn't. No.
Really?
No.
Did you ever date a comic?
No. No, I swear.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I love people that are funny, but I haven't dated a comic.
Not enough to go out with one. But you never actually went out with a comic?
No, I haven't gone out with a dog. I got a dog. Yeah, well, I found a bunch of dogs on the street, but this dog...
Oh, wait. You found a bunch of dogs on the street. Did they have collars with people's names on them? Or?
No, there were stray dogs with, like, mange, and one of them had, like, one of their legs missing, and three legs.
Okay, so a three-legged
They can still
dog.
get by. It was an Australian Shepherd, but he found a home. I find them on the street, and then I find them home.
Well, how did you find... Actually, he couldn't run away, so he didn't have much choice.
He could run. Not well, but he can run.
Did he have one of those little sleds? I mean, how did he get around?
Oh.
I don't know.
They're a little slower.
Okay. Well, yeah, a three-legged dog. You know what's really slow? A two-legged dog. Well, that's really slow.
Dragging
And they
himself
give you that one-legged hoppity dog. Those are...
No, this dog I got was actually, my brother does this thing on the side where he trains dogs for the Guide Dog Foundation for the blind.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Right,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what he does is he takes dogs and he trains them for 6 months or a year, and then he gives them back to the foundation, and then they train them for another 6 months, and then they give them to a family or to somebody who obviously needs the dog.
Oh, sure.
So he's been doing that, but it's really hard for him, though, because every time, like every 6 months to a year, I'll get a phone call from him. I'll pick up the phone, and there'll just be dead silence, and it'll be, hello? And I'll realize it's my brother, and he's had to give the dog back the day before.
Oh, he gets attached to it, sure.
Yeah, I get really attached to it, so then you just hear, and I realize it's my brother, and he's giving the dog back, and I'm like, it's okay, you did a really good thing, and you're so great, and, it's hard for him. So, but this dog I got was through... somebody in London who's one of the breeders, it sells to the Guide Dog Foundation. So this is a lab that doesn't have has all his feet and legs and his paws, and his ears are all intact.
Didn't pass the test.
His teeth are there. He doesn't have mange.
Oh.
Yeah.
But didn't pass the guide dog test.
No, he's a puppy. I bought him from them.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Before he.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I didn't take him from somebody who needed him, but
Can you
imagine
sneak up behind a blind guy and steal his dog?
Yeah, steal his dog. Yeah, just what I need.
Does he get along with the other dogs?
We've kind of sequestered him.
No, why?
Because the other dogs have emotional issues. They're
Hollywood dogs.
They're derelict dogs.
Wait,
they have their own.
Emotional issues.
One of them is like kind of meanish and
Meanish.
He doesn't have any teeth, but he's meanish.
So one's got no legs, no teeth. You put those two together, you might have one dog.
I know. Well, one of them is a little bit, unpredictable, and the other one's really, really needy and if you're sitting here on a couch or a chair that's smaller than this, he'll climb on top of you, and he's a pretty big dog.
Okay.
So he's very needy, and so I don't want him to learn bad habits.
Oh, so you keep him sequestered.
Yeah, until he is a little more. He's only 4 months old.
Oh, I see.
So.
Okay. All right. Look, we'll take a break, and more with Lucy Liu right after this. Welcome back. We're on with Lucy Liu. The new movie is Kill Bill, and this is like a more serious kind of movie because Charlie's Angels tongue in cheek.
Yes.
And this is it's a violent film, but
You think?
I
Actually,
like
it's action oriented.
Well, I think violent is pretty good. That's a good name for it. How did you get this part? Did you?
Quentin called me at home. Number actually through a makeup artist that we both know, and picked up the phone. It was Quentin. He was talking about the script that he had written, and he had written a role for me, and he wanted to, Then he said, forget it. Don't look at the role. Just, he hadn't given me the role, so it was fine. He said, just read the script and tell me what you think. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And I was so excited because it's Quentin.
Did you know him before this?
No, I didn't know.
And what is that like when you get hello? Yes, Quentin, the director. I mean, did you kind of like talk him along to find out if it's really him? How do you know?
No, it was him.
Yeah.
He's a unique person. He's you can't mistake him for anything but who he is. But he,
Did you see him on our show Monday night?
I didn't. I saw the last bit of when he was introducing the clip. Jay.
No, we were backstage.
You know what? He is an eccentric.
Well, he is eccentric. That's the thing. I didn't know he was drunk. Look, we're talking back to, he and I are talking back because we both like early Elvis, so we're talking about Sun Records and the early Elvis stuff and early Elvis films because you all like to, I said, great, let's talk about this when we get out there. So meanwhile, I'm doing the monologue, 4 apple martinis.
You got that cart. They have, I just want to say, they have a cart back there where somebody comes by and says, do you want any adult beverages? So they want to get you all riled up before you get here.
And we have crack for the kids. I want to put that out there, too.
They have crack, cocaine, who knows what they have back there.
Everything.
It's like, no, thank you. I want to be
He
someone
told me
coherent
the cart was on fire and it was destroyed.
No, that sounds about right. But he's a lively, energetic
So when he comes
person.
out and he's energetic, and I think, oh, this is Quentin. He's really up now.
Yeah.
But then I asked him something, and you get that. So
He's in his own world,
He is.
but in a good way.
I said, Quentin, had you been drinking? And he said, I may have had an apple. And I went, oh, and then I realized what it was. I mean, I loved him.
I adore him.
He was
didn't
good.
say anything.
Now, he came to the premiere. Did he look a little tipsy at the premiere?
No, he was wide-eyed and excited, and he came up in front of the Man Chinese Theater and gave this huge speech. He's like, listen, when we went to the restaurant, we went to this Korean restaurant, okay? I just want to give you an example of his sort of eccentricity. Went to the restaurant, and, it's a Korean barbecue, and if anyone's ever been to Korean barbecue, it's like the little barbecue in front of you on the table, and you cook while you eat. And so I'm eating, and he's not eating, and you eat right off the grill. So he's sort of looking at me, and he loves food, you know what I mean? And he's like, and I told him I love the script, and these are the reasons it's had so much heart, it was funny. And he goes, okay. He's not eating, and I'm eating. And he goes, well, did you not like Oren Ishii, which is the character? And I go, no, she was fantastic, and she's got a great backstory, and I think the animation is amazing. And I gave her, and he's just sort of sitting there, nothing. He's not eating, I'm eating, and he suddenly bursts out of nowhere. He goes, do you not want to do Oren Ishii? And I'm like mid-chopstick with the food in my mouth, and I'm like, you asked me to read the script, and I wanted to be a friend and read it, and he goes, oh, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, so I gave you the ring, but I didn't ask you the question. And I was like, I guess so, and he goes, I really want you to do this role, and so that's how it happened.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he is Quentin Tarantino and unique and doesn't have to be drunk to be.
Oh, it doesn't have to be. It's just one of those things. Apparently he bumped into the apple martini cart and
Except it was set fire, it combust. Yeah.
Now what is this clip we're going to see here? This is
okay, this clip is
oh, I know the scene. Yeah.
this clip is after somebody there's a sort of a little nightclub scene where I've just become the queen of the underworld, and same old, and somebody sort of has a difficult time with me being a woman and being the queen of the underworld as well as being Chinese, Japanese, American, and so I had to sort of settle the room a bit.
We can say you cut his head off.
I didn't want to say it, but okay.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense sort of in the understanding.
Right,
And
long
then
and short of it, yeah.
and you're
I cut his head off, and then I have a little thing to say
little speech
afterwards.
after. And this is what women always say after they cut a man's head off.
As your leader, I encourage you from time to time, but always in a respectful manner, to question my logic. If you're unconvinced a particular plan of action I've decided is the wisest, tell me so. But allow me to convince you, and I promise you right here and now, no subject will ever be taboo. Except, of course, the subject that was just under discussion.
ただ今問題になったことは除きますが
The price you pay for bringing up either my Chinese or American heritage as a negative is, I collect your head.
I think you and the fruitcake lady would hit it off pretty good.
Yeah, if this doesn't work out in, 50 years, I will be the fruitcake lady.
Well, you need a lot more than 50. She's 93, so you need a lot more than that. So,
Wow,
listen,
thank
good
you.
luck with the movie. You did a
Thanks,
wonderful job.
Jay.
Thank you very much. We're right on today.